This is the vlog for October 11th, 2018, and I don't know. I don't know what to talk about tonight. I don't know what the deal is with the white balance, although it seems to get a little bit better if I turn the screen that way, and it seems to get a lot worse if I turn the screen that way. I don't know why that's happening. Let's see what happens when I just open this. That didn't really help. Okay. So this is going to go back down, and now I'm really bright again. Um, maybe it's the shirt. Oh, well, that sort of helped for a second. Um, I get a lot of compliments on this shirt. I always feel, I, this is going to be a weird one. I always feel weird when people compliment my clothing. Less so my hat, because the hat is sort of a fashion statement. Like, I wear a hat, I wear a fedora. Yeah, I'm probably a hipster, but you're never going to know if I don't talk about music around you. But the shirt, I get a lot more compliments on the shirt lately than I do on the hat. Um, I think part of it is just people, especially in an office setting, really identify with Ritsuko and her plight. Retsuko is actually the background, the desktop background of the coworker that sits behind me at work, which should tell you an awful lot right there. Um, yeah. Um, my mom is visiting my sister um, in Washington D.C. right now. My sister is having two baby showers. She's having one baby shower in person with my brother-in-law's side of the family mostly, I think, and maybe a couple of the Marine wives who they are friends with, Marine families' wives, I should say. And then she's going to have an online baby shower with her cousins, and my mom is going to be present to help with that. My mother, bless her heart, is a little bit technologically impaired. To give you an idea, we got her a smartphone so she'd be able to talk to us and send and receive text messages and surf the internet and all the things you do with a smart device, and she has barely used it. At this point, I'm thinking of replacing my iPhone 6 because it's a bit out of date and it's a little bit too weak to do a lot of the more modern applications and stuff that the more modern versions of the operating system are designed to do. And she has barely used hers at all. So, I don't have anything to talk about. I don't really have any interesting tidbits. Work was work. It was stuff I can't talk about. Weather's been nice. Weather's been unseasonably nice. We were having what my folks would probably call an Indian summer, or at least my dad. My dad got it from his folks, and it was a term they used to describe summer-like weather that was going on well into October. And that is really, honestly, it was 64 degrees today, and it's going to be the same tomorrow and over the weekend. It's not going to rain next week until maybe Thursday or Friday. And so I'm looking forward to a couple of really nice days this weekend. I'm going to go for a walk in the morning if it's at all nice. Although it was very foggy this morning. It was dangerously foggy, honestly. There was a point where I couldn't see traffic like 200 feet down because it was so foggy. Thankfully, traffic was pretty light as I was pulling into work, so I wasn't in any danger of getting hit. But it's still very eerie. And it burned off super fast, too. It was clear by the time I took my first break in the morning. So, there's that. Still listening to Critical Role, and very interesting to hear Ford talk about his character, or rather, Travis talk about his character's Ford, in character talk about his childhood. Ford is a half-orc. Half-orcs in the Exandria world have a sort of peculiar... Oh, cool, turn right to the page. They have sort of a peculiar appearance. Specifically, they have very light color lower faces and fronts of their torsos. They basically have green on top of their arms and the tops of their heads, and are otherwise mostly what we would think of as human flesh colored. And they can have small tusks, but Ford, I should just say, whittled down his teeth. He picked at his teeth and basically filed them off so that they wouldn't stick out, because that was what kids picked on. It makes me wonder. Travis is a big dude and he's in shape. I actually don't know how big he is, but he sounds like a big dude. He generally voices tough characters. He's Guile in Street Fighter. He is the Kingpin, apparently, in the new Spider-Man game. I didn't really pick up at that at first because he's so much more eloquent than Fjord or Grog are. Grog was this hulking Goliath barbarian from the first campaign. He's probably one of the most famous characters of that campaign. Ford, in the second campaign, is generally not a physical kind of guy. He's much better known for his charisma and his ability to work with the team and bring out the best in the rest of the people that he's adventuring with. And to hear his sort of background was so warm. And then the rest of the group got high on drugs. It was after clearing out a very nasty dungeon and completing a contract with an unsavory gentleman. Matt wisely decided to give them some downtime so that the characters could just sort of unwind after difficulty that they were faced with. And Mollymock and Beauregard got high on some questionable product. Ford had some, but he did not partake wisely. And he basically just followed the two around as they were stoned out of their gourds, viewing the ethereal plane. Some strong stuff. That was definitely one of the high points of my day. I listened to that part on the drive home. Listening to Critical Role makes my commute fly by. It's actually wonderful because I don't commute for very long. It's only about a half an hour. What's frustrating about it is I can drive to work with no traffic in 12 to 13 minutes, and that doubles in time when I have to go home for the evening. And so I know people that commute for an hour, for 2 hours for some people, and in some ways I'm almost jealous because it means that they would have a lot more time to listen to Critical Role than I do. And it is sort of frustrating that these episodes are so long because I haven't been listening to a lot of music. I haven't been using the background ambience site Noisely that my friend recommended to me. I've been trying to cram in as much Critical Role as possible. And I am getting through like maybe 2.5 to 3 podcasts a week now. And I still don't feel like I'm going to be caught up anytime soon. It's going to be months before I get caught up with the second campaign. And then if I'm really into it, I'd have the first campaign to go to. But I think once I'm caught up with campaign 2, I'll just keep up with campaign 2. You know, a half hour each night driving home means that I can get through each week's episode as it's released online. I'll still be a week behind because that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But at that point, I can use the rest of my time to do whatever. Well, I managed to talk for 10 minutes when I didn't really have anything to talk about. So I'm Eric Spornitz, and tomorrow will be better.